Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. This video I'm going to give my review of Hemlock Silver by Kingfisher. This is the third T Kingfisher book I read. The first two were Southern Gothic, House with Good Bones, and The Twisted Ones. This is my first fantasy from her. Hemlock Silver is an adult fantasy set in a pre-industrial world. It is told in the first person by Anja. When the story begins, the king of Kingdom Anja lives in visits her. He explains why he killed the queen. The queen was trying to cut the heart out of one of their daughters. The king recognized that Anja was a person who was very knowledgeable about antidotes to poisons. He wanted Anja to accompany him to his estate because his surviving daughter, the first had been actually killed by the queen. His surviving daughter, her health has been, his surviving daughter has gradually been wasted away, and the physicians that he has brought in have not been able to figure what's wrong. So he is concerned that the problem is she's being poisoned. Anja has a great deal of trepidation about accompanying the king because she is concerned about what would happen if she failed. Would she be executed or family executed? The king assures her that that wouldn't happen. So she does accompany the king to the king's estate. The king's daughter is named Snow. Anja tries several things, but she can't figure out what is affecting Snow. She is unable to stop Snow's decline. She discovers that she's able to travel through a mirror in her room to a hidden world. The story goes from there. Anja is a very relatable heroine. She is in her 30s. She's very wrapped up in her job, so she doesn't know what's going on around her. She didn't remember that the king's daughter, she didn't remember that she had heard that the king had killed the queen because the queen had tried and succeeded at killing their daughter. Anja doesn't have the greatest people skills. The other characters are interesting. I thought the solution to the reason why Snow's health was declining was a good one. There is an animal that Snow gets to test the substances that she thinks might be poison on. She does also test these substances on herself. There is a bit of spice, but it's only described enough so that you know that it happened. It's not graphic at all. There were a few things in the book that didn't ring true to me. Overall, I love the book. I recommend it to anyone who want to read a good fantasy set in an interesting pre-industrial world, a book with an engaging heroine and interesting supporting characters, and a book with a mystery at the heart of it. If any of the concerns I mentioned are a problem for you, you may not want to read the book. I rated it 4.5 stars, and definitely cements Kingfisher as an author whose books I want to continue to read and read more of. She is very prolific. And now I'm going to say something. It's a bit of a spoiler, just something I have to acknowledge. I did not realize until I saw a synopsis of the book that this is actually a Snow White retelling. I didn't mention earlier, but apples are involved in it. You can see an apple on the cover, and the name Snow as the character who's having the declining health. I expect it was probably obvious to many people, but I didn't think of it. In my defense, it's been many years since I read or saw anything related to Snow White, but still did want to acknowledge the fact that this is a Snow White retelling, but I didn't mention that. But I didn't realize that, so I didn't include that in the review part of this because I only learned that by reading a synopsis on Storygraph. Although I don't think even if I knew, I probably would have included it in the review because I prefer people to realize that themselves. That's why I didn't mention the apple in my review. I would be interested in knowing if you have read any T. Kingfisher books, if so, what you thought of them, or any fantasy books you might have read recently. If you can't think of anything else to comment, please add a snake emoji or a apple emoji. As you can see, there's a snake and apple on the cover. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.